Hello and welcome to Mindshifters Radio. I'm Tim Hayes. I'm your host for the first hour. And today is Friday, August 1st, 2025. As always, we're grateful to everyone who's joining us here today, whether you're listening live or through the archives, as we spend another couple of hours teaching and supporting people in using some of the most powerful, effective, efficient, and accessible tools I've ever encountered. These tools are available absolutely free through the tireless efforts of Dr. Michael and Jeanie Ryce on the website at whyagain.org. If you go to that website and click on the two words that say Start Here in the upper left-hand corner, it will take you to a page where you can download and read Chapter 24 of Dr. Michael Ryce's book. His book is titled, Why Is This Happening to Me Again? And that chapter of the book contains a narrative description and explanation of the primary tool in this work. That tool is called the Reality Management Worksheet, sometimes called the Reality Management Wake-Up Sheet. And it's a tool I've been using to great effect for over 20 years to improve the quality of my life and most of my relationships, and to turn any negative emotional experience I have into part of the infallible guidance system that each and every one of us has been given. You can also download the actual worksheet process itself. It's a simple PDF file. Click the link, download it, print it off, copy it as often as you'd like, and use it over and over again absolutely free. You can also download from that page a whole host of audio files of shows just like this one where people have been stepped through the worksheet process. And if you choose to listen to them even repeatedly, they can serve as a powerful tutorial for you to help you get the maximum benefit from the use of these tools in the shortest amount of time possible. You can also go to your app store and type in the three words Heartland Aramaic Forgiveness. And if you choose to do that before you're done typing the word forgiveness, you'll see the glowing heart icon. If you tap on that, it will let you download a completely free and private app that contains the Reality Management Worksheet. It contains an abbreviated version of that worksheet process, and it contains a copy of the Dragon Klingon game, which is a wonderful way to introduce these tools to even younger audiences. We hope people do all of that soon and often, primarily because it tends to improve the quality of people's lives the more they actively apply these tools in their lives. And secondarily, because it tends to prompt comments, questions, answers, and testimonials. If you have any of those to share with us, we'd greatly appreciate you doing so. If you want to join us live, if you have that capacity, go to zoom.us and open a browser window with that URL, and then type in the meeting ID, 853-2357-4173. That's 853-2357-4173. And then you'll be able to either just listen and talk, listen and share video, or type in the chat room. And we greatly appreciate whenever anybody does that, because it makes it infinitely easier for us to live into our intention with this work. The intention we have with this work is to be of service. And that's just so much easier to do when you let us know how these things are landing for you. And we're sitting here at the beginning of August. Yesterday, I think we finished reading the book, A Walk in the Physical by Christian Sundberg. And we talked about how our hope is that a week from today, he will join us on this podcast, internet show, whatever you want to call it. And that may or may not happen because the young man is having some health issues. And he sent me an email this morning concerned about whether or not he would be up to snuff for next Friday. And I just said, well, wait to see how you're feeling at the time, and we'll proceed from there. It isn't all that time sensitive, except that we have been letting people know that Christian will join us. We'll do it when we can, and it may be this next Friday, and it may be delayed due to health issues. So we have plenty of time for comments and questions, suggestions about what direction to move next, how to spend the time. We had our support group last night, and somebody courageously confronted big stuff in their life with a support group team there to witness it, and the person did a reality management worksheet that, for the first time in a long time, this has happened in the support group, it just kept spilling over into other issues. And it prompted me to remember that back when we first started this internet show in the first year or two, so like 14 years ago, 13 or 14 years ago, one of the people who'd done a lot of worksheets and lives pretty close to where Michael Ryce has his Heartland Center, she got on and she did a worksheet with him on the internet show. And before they were done, I think they had outlined or labeled 15 other worksheets that she could do. And Michael started talking about it as the Hydra effect. And the Hydra effect is this mythical monster that or creature that when you cut off its head, 2 or 3 more grow back. So it is not a good way to try and kill the beast. And yet it's a good image for what happens if I have an upset in my system and I decide to do a reality management worksheet about it. And I find that I've opened up a rat's nest of connected thoughts and emotions and events and interpretations. And each little thread, each little turn down a dark alley is worth a few worksheets. And if I'm willing to stay open to that, to the connections that bubble up when I start doing a worksheet, I'll be able to identify several, if not dozens, of other worksheets I can do. So the Course in Miracles says some form of this concept that the slightest irritation is connected to or covers the deepest rage. So all of my issues feed into my other issues. And if I'm willing to just watch what bubbles up and sit with it and make notes about it rather than just keep it in my head spinning, it frequently makes it easier for me to identify what the next good target for a worksheet would be. And that's what happened in the group last night. This person did a worksheet and then just kept tapping into one memory, one connected thought and memory, one dynamic of intense emotion, one life event from the past. And so what we encouraged him to do was just turn off his video camera and start doing the journaling, start writing about what was bubbling up. And one of the options was to write a letter to one of the people that he was thinking of or that got stirred up in memories as he did his worksheet, and not write a letter for the other person, but to the other person. So it's for me, it's me clarifying all of my thoughts, all of my interpretations, all of my connected associations with a person and a situation and a set of emotions. And the more I clarify that and write it out, the easier it gets for me to sort it out and see connections that I wouldn't see any other way. So we have plenty of time for conversation or a question, clarification, or for someone to do a worksheet. And all you have to do is unmute and say hello.
Hello,
Like Susan
everybody.
might be doing that. Welcome, Susan. You've been away for a while.
I have a beautiful 15-day silent meditation retreat and another event, which was amazing. And I would love to do a worksheet if you're willing.
Okay.
So it has to do, I'll just give you a story. 2025 has been a big expenditure of money for me, doing lots of workshops and things. and I incurred debt as a result. And now I want to pay off that debt, which means going into my investments to take the money out to pay it. And I'm in absolute anxiety about that. And anxiety, fear, like I don't even know all the emotions that are bubbling up. So I have the money in my investments to do so, but I'm really, I don't even know what is up, but I'm really scared to take it out and pay
Okay,
off.
so you're right there with all you need to get a worksheet started is you have an external life situation that your mind is focused on. In the meanwhile, your mind-body energy system is generating fear.
Mm-hmm.
So in the current 7-step version of the worksheet process, you've got I, Susan, who am love, am feeling the emotion of fear.
Yes.
Do you have a worksheet in front of you?
Yes, I do.
All right, give me a minute here while I look to see if I've got one that I can follow along with you as we do this. I have lots and lots sitting here that have been done, but I'm looking for a blank one. So give me just a moment. And seems like I've had reasonable success here. So I, Susan, who am love, am feeling the emotion of fear.
Yes.
And we like to have people stop at the beginning and check in with how they're feeling intensity level and rate their subjective units of disturbance. They call it SUDs for short. How upsetting, how fearful, how off center would you say you're feeling when you
About a
think about
15.
taking out the money? Oh, from 0 to 10, you're at a 15. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's not call the ambulance just yet, but let's write that down at the top of the page.
Yeah.
All right. And we'll say, is this your first worksheet today?
No, my third or fourth. I've been
Okay.
starting to do work on this before, but I thought this is a great time to do it with your assistance.
8/1/2025. All right. And so the worksheet process, how would you like to proceed? You're familiar with the worksheet process. Would you like to read it and
Sure, I'd like to,
work through
yeah,
it? Would you have to me read it and you respond? How would you, what are you
I'll
comfortable with?
yeah, I'll read it. I usually read the whole thing. I just say, so the premise is my central nature, my human life, my very being is love. The goal of this internal forgiveness wake-up sheet is to empower me to remove fear and or hostility and return me to the direct experience of love 24/7, 365. I, Susan, who am love, am experiencing fear, hostility and fear from internal corrupt data and indicate my use of sustained incoherence to build this disturbing internal construct. My denial causes my carbon-based memory to displace my experience of myself as my essence, love, and tells me the lie that my emotions are caused by my trigger. My story, my reality is that 1C is I'm scared to take out the money to pay down my debt. Yeah, take out money from investments to pay down my debt. And I can just feel as I say that even big charge, especially in my liver.
Okay, so then take a breath. And you've got the emotion of fear that you've labeled. And so what's the thought you're using to generate fear in this particular worksheet?
I don't even know the only that I'm going to run out of money, that I'm going to be
Okay, well,
that I'm going to be
no, no,
penniless.
just stop right there. Let's just notice. Breathe and soften. What was your first response? Your first response was, I don't even know.
Okay.
And the very next thing out of your mouth was, I'm going to run out of money. And your energy went up. So there's enough of a thought. It may not be the perfect thought. It may not be the one driving this whole upset, but
Okay.
just start with that. I'm going to run out of money. If you have the thought, I'm going to run out of money, what happens to your fear? Does it get more
Yeah.
intense?
Yes.
Okay. And is there a very solid, almost immediate follow-up to that thought?
Yes.
I'm going to run out of money and what?
I'm going to be penniless.
Okay. And if I'm penniless, then what?
And be destitute.
Isn't it wonderful? Look at the different energies behind these words. Penniless has one energy, destitute has another, the phrase run out of money has another, because I might run out of money just before I have enough to pay for a second yacht. Right? So running out of money doesn't have the same
Yeah.
energetic flavor to it as being penniless. And penniless, from my history with that word, it almost has me thinking pennies from heaven. It's kind of a lighthearted. It's got the word penny
Oh,
in it, right? And so destitute, not so much. Whole different, darker, heavier feel to that word. So when we're making these worksheets, we want to remember this law of resonance, right? Every thought I think, every word I say has a charge to it. It's in the realm of form, as we're reading about from in the book by Christian Sundberg, and it's not the fundamental truth, but it's an appearance that we experience and we can see the effects of. So I want to pay attention to this idea that when I think a thought, speak it, and keep rehearsing, pouring my mental energy into this, my mind energy into this pattern of thought, it's a creative thing and it's setting up a vibration.
mhm.
So if we're looking for the thoughts that cause your emotions of fear, I'm putting here, I'm going to run out of money. I'm going to put all three, right? I'm going to run out of money and then end up penniless and destitute.
Yeah. That's right to the core.
And what does destitute mean to you? What's the picture in your mind that goes with that heavier word, destitute?
I see, I don't know if it's a past life. I can tell you, I feel like I'm just in rags and I'm shackled in some disgusting jail. I don't know if,
Okay, so like a debtor's prison or whatever.
yeah.
Okay.
Hmm. And no
All
clothes,
right.
just in rags and dirt floor and brats all around
All
and
right.
chained.
So what I'm doing here on the worksheet is I'm drawing an arrow off to the right and I'm flipping the worksheet over and I'm making some notes about dressed in rags and shackled.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do this for any really strong thought or emotional hit or image picture you get when you're doing a worksheet, and it will facilitate you identifying what you need to release and softening it.
Oh, you're frozen. I don't know. Am I the only one? Am I frozen or is anyone else on the call? Or is it just him that's frozen?
You are not hi. Hey,
Hi, hi,
it's good.
hi.
You're not frozen to me.
Okay,
But
thank you. It's just Timothy that's Tim's frozen. Okay,
I
so we'll
think
wait.
so. Yeah, I don't see him or hear him at all. So yeah, I'm here with you, breathing with you,
Thank you.
relating with you
Thank you so much.
100%.
Yeah, I just feel
I
like the
came on,
very.
yeah, I was
Ah,
still with somebody until about 10 minutes after. And so I jumped on as soon as I was like, oh, I love her.
thank you,
I don't
Sally.
even know you yet, but I
I
love
know.
you.
Thank you for saying that, Sally. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hello,
Be safe.
Susan and Sally. This is Celinda.
Hi.
Hi, Celinda.
uh, Hi. Susan, did you say something in the beginning about it, your liver, feeling it in your liver?
Yes, I did.
Okay. In traditional Chinese medicine, liver is a seat of rage.
Okay.
And what I found is every time I'm afraid, deeply afraid, if I'm willing to dig deep enough, that fear is a cover for my rage. Or there are two sides of one coin is another way I express it. If I'm in rage, there's fear on the bottom side of the coin.
Got
And
it.
that will eventually come up if I'm willing to keep digging.
Yeah.
And if I'm in fear, then I know there's rage lingering around somewhere. So I just thought that might help.
Thank
Kidneys
you.
are the seat of fear. So if you feel it in your kidney, it could be that you're irritated or, something that, whatever the spectrum of that emotion, is lurking in the shadows.
Yeah.
Stage left.
Oh, yeah, I can really feel it as I'm right now, right in the liver, right in the liver. There's
Right.
so this is a perfect time to be doing this at this time, and it's been with me I think my whole life, this particular pattern.
Yeah.
I
And
appreciate
I
you.
have hot kidneys and
Yeah.
a sluggish liver. It doesn't detoxify well. Well, that's because rage was not allowed for girls in my
Mm-hmm.
family.
Yes.
Only boys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Isn't that interesting how he froze? That's not by accident. That's all symbology. And he's still off the call.
And
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
I think it's
We
not
can
an
fake it.
accident.
Nah, nothing by chance, dear
No.
heart. We could carry on.
Yeah.
Right. We did not freeze and we kept breathing with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And like you said, we can carry on, I guess. We'll just continue with the sheet. So then we talked about being destitute. That feels really feeling destitute, and I can see the image actually being in a jail. I think I was masculine and like in absolute rags, and I can feel like long hair covered in sores, rats all around. I can viscerally feel that actually. So that's very interesting. So and I don't know what he was going to do. Like he said, he had a separate sheet where he puts dressed in rags, shackles, and rats, and being in jail. But I guess I'll just continue with 1D where that I'm gonna go. I guess would it be worthwhile to go right to this core where I claim that I would be destitute and then continue from that place of thought? Is that the best way to
Well,
proceed?
the goal, just back me up, Sally, if I'm incorrect. The goal is directly off the thought. So
Okay.
what would the positive opposite of that fear be for the goal? Head in
Yes.
a thought positive way. And
Okay.
also the arrow was to tell you that to remind you have put the notes on the back side
Yeah.
of the worksheet. Yeah.
Yeah. And so if I'm going to go with the destitute, and so I'm just going to breathe into that and feel that. And then, then they ask the next part is what I would want to punish. So the punishing death, I go into, like, for example, I don't look at I see myself going into debt. I deny it. I don't even look at it, and I keep spending, and I don't, right? Then I still do what my heart calls. Oh, and there, you're back, Timothy.
I didn't think about that.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, whatever you call it, that you were trim the
Hedge.
because you got to plug it in someplace, just cut them right off the ground.
Yeah.
Put
Yeah, I didn't even think of the large clippers, because I'm so used to my little scissors and little clippers.
So you're back,
Belinda.
Dr. Hayes? You can hear me okay?
Okay.
Well, we were just continuing it because you had not been back yet. I was just and asking the question, if I proceed all the way down to the core thought, which was I would be destitute. And I know you illustrated to have a separate sheet where you'd make notes of, for example, I demonstrated about being in rags and shackled and rats all around. So I noted that. And then I wasn't just sure how to proceed from there.
I think he's still frozen.
Yeah, you're freezing. Isn't that interesting, Dr. Hayes? You're
No, I'm fine, dear
Are you,
heart. I'm
can
out
you hear
in
me
the
now?
garden volunteering. Yeah, good, Tim. You're back.
Yeah, you're back and you're free. You're like it's
All right.
tracking a bit. There seems to be a
Well,
delay.
I'm without internet at the office, and I'm on the phone through the cell. So
Okay.
let's just try to try to get back. Just keep going through the worksheet. But
No accidents here. This is all not, we're moving
so
some big
just
energy.
understand that as you get clear about those energies, it'll stir up more, and so it's likely to be a deeper worksheet, or you might have 3 or 4 or 5 or 12 where you don't get much, and then all of a sudden the dam bursts and
Yeah.
the floodwaters get released. So the next thing to do on this worksheet is to remember that if I'm in pain, my thinking is in error. That's that little statement that's in that little box.
Yes. Yeah.
And then get clear with your punishment thought. What's your punishment thought for yourself when you have this thought, I'm going to run out of money, end up penniless and destitute, and then you generate fear?
I think that, myself, I go into, I think, blame. Yeah, I don't even know, to be honest, but the word that's popping into my head is like that I've done something wrong.
Okay,
So
so
blame.
just here, you can either put blame or you can say beat myself up emotionally, whatever
Yeah.
fits for you.
I'll say blame.
And then it asks us to do a release and surrender myself, my story, my thoughts, and my punishment thoughts. Surrender all of that to love.
And I usually just say that out loud, the one I'm going to do. So I release and surrender myself to love, my emotions of fear to love. 1C, my original one, that I'm scared to take out the money from my investments to pay down my debt to love, my story. And then my thoughts that I will be destitute, penniless, and that I don't have enough money to love, and my punishment of denial and blame to love. And then I cancel my need to be right.
Yeah.
Cancel my need to be right. Yeah, tears are coming. My need to be right and to to make up another story out of these brain cells to hallucinate proof that my fear, hostility-based story, my reality is true.
And just make a note that tears came up as soon as you said, I cancel my need to be right. You might make a note that might be one of your Hydra worksheets that you make a note about that and you realize, hey, you know what? I should just do one on this idea that in order to be safe, I have to be right. Or whatever else the association is there that brings tears.
I'm just making a note. In order to be safe, I have to be right. Thank you so much for that. That's resonating very, very strong. Closing my thought system down to that need to be right. So my desires, the constructive result, the exact goal that drives my pain.
Wait a minute.
Oh, okay.
Because where you're going?
Okay. Oh, I choose to honor truth. That one?
There you go. There you go.
I choose to honor truth and willingly face and process out all disease-producing energies for and from all my relations and generations. I willingly go through the physical, mental, and emotional symptoms of healing. My desire, the constructive result, the exact goal that drives my pain perception is that 1C, my trigger is I want to be prosperous financially.
Not really.
No? Okay, help me.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to
So
be okay, I don't want to be destitute, but how do I put that in a positive?
yeah, yeah. Well, here's the thing we've been talking about. We flipped the page over and made some notes. This is all about you not feeling safe, right? You feeling scared, you feeling threatened.
Yeah.
And so your desire, your goal for this worksheet process that would really, be a home run would be to say, I want to feel safe and secure regardless of my financial status.
Oh, that's beautiful. Just writing that down. Wow. Thank you for that. That's exactly true.
Yeah, and you could put the word regardless, or you could put the word independent, or the phrase independent of my financial status.
Yeah, I'm going to use the word independent, feels better. So I'm going to thank you. So I want to feel safe and secure, independent of my financial status.
Yeah, take a breath into that.
Oh,
And then the next step is to do a little meditation where we choose love.
okay.
And I ask people to close their eyes, and if they're comfortable with it, put their hand over their heart space and just breathe and soften as you bring up some of the most safe, loving, warm, happy, strong memories you have. And breathe into that energy of safety and warmth and strength and joy from a recent or distant past memory. Just breathe into that until you feel something shift in your heart space away from this tight, tense, unpleasant, fearful energy toward that loving, joyful, safe, strong energy that comes with this memory. And when you feel a shift, you can move on to step 5.
Boy, do I feel the block in the heart.
So that's why we suggest people, instead of trying so hard, just let memories come up of a time when you had those feelings. So you're not working hard trying to create it. You're just remembering it and allowing it to arise in your system.
Funny, because I was at an ayahuasca ceremony years ago. And in that ceremony, this is what's coming in my mind right now. I was wearing this beautiful, in the vision, a beautiful blue gown with a crown, and Archangel Michael picked me up and kissed me on my forehead and said, "Welcome home, Angel." Yeah. And I felt really safe.
Okay. And breathe into that and get clear about what the tears are.
Yeah, but I've never really felt safe and secure in this world.
Okay. So these tears are not tears of joy and safety and security.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is not time to move on to step 5 yet. So
Yeah.
just breathe and soften and perhaps choose a different memory, something a little bit more grounded. I just flashed on the thoughts from the movie Oh God, where God, played by George Burns, says to Bob Denver or John Denver, he says, listen, why don't you start to just shave? And John Denver is having an absolute panic attack because God just showed up in his shower or in his bathroom. And God explains, well, sometimes when you're feeling out of sorts, it helps to just do something normal, something routine.
And
So,
I just got a vision of years ago, again, very interesting. I had a Jeep that had a soft top, and it was the middle of winter. and I was driving and the top blew off. It was really windy and a truck went by, the top came off and it was -40 below. And I stopped at this gas station and the mechanic there couldn't help me, but luckily I had an intuition to pack really warm clothes, which I did. But he came up and gave me the most beautiful hug and said everything's going to be okay. Yeah, that was a sign of safety and trust. Yeah.
So breathe into it until you feel that loving energy rolling in your heart space. And whenever you're ready, we can move on to step 5.
Yeah, I feel it. Thank you. Okay. Oh. Okay, when upset, my perception is built out of corrupt data, driven by my goal that I want to feel safe and secure, independent of my financial status. It is a limiting picture constructed from a maximum of 9 bits of data out of 10,000 brain cells firing. By canceling my goal, my replicate mind's reality collapses and gives me direct contact with the denied and disassociated parts of my carbon-based memory, which projects and blames others for its content. While holding love conscious, active, and present, I now choose to collapse my mind's lies by willingly canceling my goal, my driver for 1C, to I want to feel safe and secure, independent of my financial status. I'm just writing that down. This. Okay. And I invite Rockma in Aramaic, Ukitakucha, to incline me towards my healing, to restore me to Rockma, my newborn essence of love.
And here I like to say, to restore my awareness of my newborn essence. You've never been separated from your newborn essence. So the
Restore my
wording,
awareness.
yeah, the wording on some of these older worksheets, you know,
Yeah.
isn't as accurate because they're trying to cram everything onto one worksheet.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I restore my awareness to my newborn essence of love, to heal my denial and my
And what's your denial there? Your
well,
denial is
my,
that your denial is that something outside of you is causing your upset, right? Your
yes.
denial is that in this situation, your mind is telling you that your fear is all about money and lack of money. And that's never the truth, right? I'm never upset for the reason my mind is telling me I am.
Yes. And my denial is that I'm not safe and secure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. And to generate my emotions of fear. And help me open a direct and conscious relationship with and gently remove the denied and disassociated and projected parts of my carbon-based memory.
So now just breathe and soften and put your hand over your heart space again if that feels good to you, and just silently inside your own mind say what I'm going to say out loud. Just make a meditation out of this. I cancel my need to be right.
I
cancel my need for anyone or anything to change, including myself. I specifically cancel my goal in this worksheet. I put my conscious logical mind on the shelf for now. And I open myself to be shown the hidden part of my own mind that's actually creating this upset, this fear. And then just breathe and soften and put yourself in the most open, allowing space you can, in which even more memories can bubble to the surface that may have a resonance with this worksheet. And just trust that it's all old stuff. It can't hurt you any more than it already has. And therefore, it's perfectly safe for you to let it wash over you as you just sit there and breathe and soften and study whatever comes to mind, a thought, a physical sensation.
I
an
see a lot
emotion.
of
Go ahead.
we're lived in abject poverty as a kid, so I see a lot of my mother right now going through and not having enough food, not having, I know there wasn't enough. Wasn't enough.
So in this thing where you're seeing it, just make a note. How old are you in the memories that are coming up?
I see, believe it or not, baby self 2-year-old.
So just make a note about that and think about as you let that bubble up, you're just sitting there watching this on the screen and you're in a safe environment so you can study the details of this memory. And just notice, was there a smell available in the room? Was there a particular sound? Was there another person in that memory? Was there some placement of where I was in the room relative to somebody else? Just let that stuff bubble up and make as many notes as you can about this memory that's flooding in that seems to be an actual historic memory, and yet it's loaded with all of these interpretations and emotions. So just breathe and soften and notice, how old are you? Where are you? Who else is there? And what's happening in this memory?
Yeah, I can see us in our little shack, and then my mother and my sibling, the 4 younger siblings are there, and then yeah, 2 of the older siblings, and my mom's crying. I can see that, and like we're just.
So if you have 4 younger siblings there, how old are you?
Well, I'm the youngest. There's a younger 4, so I have a twin brother, myself, my 2 older brothers, and then my parents had 4 in Europe, and then 12 years later in Canada, I had 4 more. So I can see 2 of the older siblings, brothers, and then us younger 4.
And then how many in total were there?
There was 8. There was 8 children in total, but 2 aren't there for some reason in the picture that I'm seeing right now.
Okay.
And my mother, and I feel like I'm a baby. I can see my twin brother beside me. We're in some little crib-like setting.
And if you just sit there with that image and or slash memory,
Yeah.
just ask, okay, why is this being shown to me now? And just trust what you get.
Okay.
What's the most powerful dynamic in this memory? And you don't even have to share it with us, but just
Yeah.
sit in and settle into that, breathe and soften, asking to be shown, and just make a note about what comes up. And I would encourage you to make some notes about this memory, either right now or right after the show's over, so you get as many of those details in writing where they can't float away.
Yeah.
The location, the people that were there, the temperature of the room, the color of the walls, whatever might come up as a detail, just pay attention to it and be willing to record them.
Okay. Hey.
And so as soon as you feel like, okay, I've gotten a shift, I can see how this really isn't about the present moment and the money that I spent for these trainings. It's about old energies and beliefs and traumas that are downloaded. As soon as you've got some sense that, okay, I've gotten a shift, take a breath, slowly release it, scan your body and notice what's your strongest emotion or your strongest physical sensation right now.
I can really feel, I don't have an emotion tag to it, but I can definitely feel sensations in the liver and then also in my sacred heart. There's, it's almost like pins and needles is what I'm feeling.
Okay? That's what I would make a note of, and I would put that in 6A. I now feel the pins and needles,
Okay.
sacred heart, the liver.
Okay.
And then having made a note about that, take a
Okay.
breath and notice, what would you say your emotional state is now? Are you feeling fear? And if so, how strong is it, etc.?
Yeah, I would say no to fear. I'm going to say the only thing that comes up is neutral.
Okay. So I usually put in here, calm or lighter or blank.
Yeah, blank would be, yeah, blank.
Okay, so make that note.
Okay.
And then 6C asks me to ask to be shown a time when I have not fulfilled this goal. Now, of course, in a worksheet like this where I'm the target, there's going to be, a whole parade of them, but I just offer it up, right? I make this the overt statement to spirit to please show me various times that I've failed to achieve this goal.
I think I can just say many times, not
Right,
feeling
right.
safe and
Yes,
secure.
it's just like my whole life has been a series of these, feeling unsafe and using old data points from the past to try and prove to myself I'm not safe, etc.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I write that in 6C just as a statement. I don't have to have all the answers in 6C. I just write the overt statement. Spirit, please show me any time when I failed to understand that I'm safe and whole and complete, independent of my finances, etc.
Okay.
And then we move on to number 7.
The principle of the universe is that by giving, I first get the original. I am grateful for the opportunity to heal. I choose truth and perfect love. 1C, based on number 3, that I want to feel safe and secure, independent of my finances. From love, I structure a goal towards you and offer to you.
Now, when we do these in the support groups or here on my portion of the internet show, I like to guide people to set a goal that's specific and achievable within the next waking period. So they're not setting themselves up for unachievable goals and the compound stresses that leads to. So here we usually have something like, I'm going to do a breath session. I'm going to do an EFT tapping session. I'm going to do a worksheet or two on some of the thoughts that came up when I did this worksheet, the Hydra, the related issues. Or I'm going to just do, I'm just going to write a letter to my mother about what it was like being that baby in this memory with my twin brother and my siblings there. And
I think you just add the things you named, the last one fits. I'm going to write a letter to my mother.
and remember, when you do that, this is just for you.
Yes.
Right? Even if your mother is still alive,
Which he isn't, yeah.
It's only about you getting clear, like taking all the stuff that's floating and spinning around inside your head and just putting it on paper where it can't float and metamorphosize like that anymore. So if you have that as your goal, to write a letter to your mother, then we move over to this little box where it says, I commit to love, to living a human life.
I commit to love, to living a human life. To help achieve this, I do a mass canceling of all the times I wanted to feel safe and secure, independent of my financial situation or my finances, from someone.
From someone or some situation. Anytime I've ever wanted that goal from someone or some situation, and I cancel it.
Okay.
And if some of those situations or people come to mind, I can put their initials on that line. I can begin tracking it, or I can just put it out there like I did with the 6C, asking to be shown a time when I have not fulfilled this goal.
Yeah. Oh, I can see many. Oh, university when I was, struggling. Oh my gosh, I left my first marriage. Again, this is just all replication.
So then just breathe and soften and scan your body and notice what would your upset level be now?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's down to about a 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you can make a note about whether or not you feel like that was a productive worksheet.
Yes, it was very productive. Oh, thank you so much. This is probably this is the best worksheet I've done with your assistance. I think I've been maybe bypassing, when I was going through the thought down to the desire, there might have been some bypassing to get to its origin. Like in this case, you really helped me to see the issue was around safe and secure. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're entirely welcome and deserving.
Yeah.
I'm a little disoriented because of the lack of internet at the office. So it's about 10 minutes till. Are you complete, or do you want to open it up for people to comment or question? What?
Happy to have people comment, and absolutely whatever is up for people. And when you got taken off there, and again, that's not by accident, energies were moving. Sally spoke up, which I appreciated. And then I didn't get the lady's name with just the telephone number. She also gave some insight around the liver and what that often liver is linked to rage in Chinese medicine. So she gave me insight on that as well, which I greatly appreciated. But I'm definitely open to anyone that has information or feedback.
Okay. And the phone number you're speaking of would be Celinda out in Oregon.
Thank you, Celinda.
So I'm sitting here with very limited access because I've never really run a Zoom session through my phone before. And I'm trying to check to see if there's any way to access the chat from here, etc. Okay, so no one is posted in the chat, and no one is unmuting to say hello, goodbye.
Celinda looks unmuted on my end. She does look unmuted, but I don't know if she was going to say anything or not. But
Yes, I put my mute on so you don't listen to all my garden stuff. Yes, thank you very much for the worksheet. You brought up abandonment issues for me and issues.
Your volume seems low, Celinda. Your volume, for some reason, I don't know if anyone else, but I'm having difficulty hearing.
Yes, it's very low.
Okay, how's this? Is it better?
Yeah, it sounds better. Still a
Good,
bit low,
because
but I can hear you.
Oh, good. I have issues of abandonment and rejection, and also issues of destitute that came up for me while you were doing your worksheet. So I will, in other situations around those two themes. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I shall sit down and do some work on those. I've been actually doing my best to meditate every single day, and I find that's been very helpful for me, physically as well as mentally and emotionally. And thank you for going to that silent retreat, because I may end up at a Vipassana retreat someday just for the silence. We'll see what happens.
So how did you find your experience, Susan, at the retreat?
It was amazing. So it was I've done Vipassana where it's just a sitting meditation before, a 10-day. This one was more of a Thailand approach. So you did prostration, mindful prostration. Then you worked up to an hour of walking meditation and then an hour of sitting meditation. So it would be prostration, mindful prostration, walking meditation, sitting meditation, and then a 10-minute break. So, yeah.
Can you describe what's meant by mindful prostration?
So it's really the journey is where you synchronize the wording with the movement. So for example, if I said heel, this is my foot, heel up, and then you would go lifting, and then you synchronize the actual action with the words that when you're lifting, it's actually moving along exactly in synchronization with the words. So when you, for example, the prostration, you'd be uncovering your hand, and then you would say the words, and then you'd be raising, and then you'd touching, and then you'd have to work really diligently to make sure that was in alignment. I really had to face my ego. There's a process, believe it or not. You go in this particular meditation 36 hours without sleep.
Oh my.
And you just stay in the meditation. You do the meditation process. And, they test your readiness to do that, which out of 11 people, I'm the only one that completed the 15 days and doing that 36 hours. But yeah, I broke through the mind. I broke through, saw it was all construct, the need for sleep. So it was very, very profound, and I had to face my own ego, of course, and see lots of patterning that I have in this life. But I knew I was called to be there. It's a beautiful place in Canada called Hornby Island, which was mystical, magical, with 35 acres and beautiful Douglas fir trees, which are my favorite trees, and very sacred, lots of high vibrational beings. And yeah, it was profound for my journey, really profound. Yeah.
Well, very nice. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes.
I'm glad it was to your liking. And
Yes.
and I thank you for doing the worksheet. It's I hope that the Zoom has recorded it, and we're going to be able to post this for review for people. It's always useful when people do worksheets, even if it's not like right there in their face obvious. So keep your eyes peeled for the benefits that will continue to unfold in the next few days and weeks from this kind of work you're doing.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Tim. I just had tears. I feel really emotional because I felt it. That was a really big piece. I don't even know how it's going to fully unfold yet, but I just trust in for you holding space that I could go this deep. And I'll continue. I'll write the letter. I think this is it feels like a big nugget. Like, when you come to big rocks, this
Oh,
rock
yeah.
isn't hiding, but I think it's a big rock that I'm lifting, and underneath all the little rocks that are there. But so yeah, deepest of gratitude for everybody here as well.
You're entirely welcome and fully deserving. And I'll remind us all that we come from love. We're made of the stuff that we call love. We actually are love, and everything else is false. Blessings.